something I really love is folk art, and I just grabbed this book that was in my house, and I'm going to talk a little bit about interpreting art into and making it your own. So I flipped to this page earlier of this old weather vane, and this is a very sort of realistic and useful item that many homes still have and were even more popular a long time ago. This one pictured is from the 1800s, which is pretty cool. So if I wanted to draw a rooster and sort of make it into my own style, that's what I'm going to talk about today. So we'll put this aside and grab a new page in the sketchbook. And this is just going to be a loose drawing of my personal representation of a rooster. So what I always do when I go about a drawing first is I always think about the lines. Now these are very sort of pronounced lines, very straight, which makes sense because this is a realistic piece of art. And what I always do in my art is make everything sort of as unrealistic as I can without it looking entirely different. So to make this rooster, let's see, I'll start from the head and maybe make everything a little exaggerated. So maybe that would be the body. Let's see. Okay. And for my eyes, I always do kind of funny shapes just because I have discovered that no matter what shape you really draw an eye, it's going to look like an eye because everyone expects there to be something in that part of your face or in that part of the rooster's head. So I think that no matter what the shape is, if you give it a pupil or any sort of focal point and just a general sort of shape of an eye, I think it will pass. So that's kind of what I've told myself, whether or not that's true or whether or not you agree. That's what I tend to think. So I'm really just eyeballing this, kind of layering. There isn't really much to it. A lot of the work that I do is really just happens in the moment, and there's not a whole lot of planning, as you can tell with with this rooster over here. I'm really not thinking too hard. I think that I learned that a little bit too late in my drawing career, not to think too hard, so I'm telling all of you that now. Hopefully, when in doubt, give it an outline. That's what I say. Kind of have fun with it. That's what I say. And if it doesn't look exactly as planned in the end, you just change something, but most of the time you'll end up pretty happy with what you get, I think. Give that guy a pupil. Awesome. Now it's time to go over this in marker and then it will be good. Here is the finishing product after some extra detailing with the marker and pen. Another thing that I didn't mention before is that when I add the black to it, when I go over my designs in marker and everything, I tend to try and use some different line weights. That always helps bring some dimension to your work. So that's something that I kind of tried to do here. Probably could have done even more of. So always something to keep in mind. So here is how it turned out. Here's my interpretation of the folk art weather vane. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and have some more confidence being unrealistic in your art. Have a good day.